Hey everybody, welcome back to Dress to Quest. It is your wonderful Northern Attitudes back in Icewind Dale, and tonight we have some news. So, due to some changes with Gen Con, Dress to Quest will be here for the rest of the year, and then we're going to be moving to a new channel. This has nothing against Gen Con, it was just a discussion that had to be made, and there's some changes in the larger corporation that had to make this happen. So instead, starting in January, you'll be moving to my channel, Tabletop Misfits, and you'll find us at the exact same time at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the foreseeable future. After that, we will also, though, be changing to bi weekly, and that's to hopefully allow people to keep up with the show a little bit better, as well as we're moving to podcast and other options for people to listen to, which would be great. I think it's going to help a lot. As you can also see, we have our wonderful paladin back. She's been journeying across the world of life, and she's back to hang out with us. So, real quick, we'll start off with her, and she can tell you who she is and who she's playing tonight.
Hi, I am Torrance, and I am playing your returning Oathbreaker Paladin Castle War Raven, and yeah, it's good to be back.
Awesome. Pass it over to Benji.
Let's pass it over to Pitch.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Benji, you're up.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my headphone died. I couldn't hear anything. I'm like, why is my headphone beeping? What's up, guys? I'm Space. I will be playing Benji Goldenclaw, your totem warrior. I don't know what the hell they call it now, but bear totem barbarian.
There you go.
Yes. And I'm gonna pass it over to Chris.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chris, and I'll be playing Jinjack Wonderful, life cleric, human life cleric. I shall now pass it over to Erwina.
Hi, I'm Erwina, as you can clearly see. Here from Icewind Dale, playing myself. No, I'm Alex. I actually pretend to be Alex the rest of the week in a live action role play where I play a normal human person. I am a half astral elf.
Awesome. Yeah, lots of changes are happening here, which we're excited about, and including changes. There's going to be a special switch, or there's going to be a special guest show up in the middle of the show. Hopefully, as long as we make it. Find out. Our players last time had a possibility where they almost died, so there was that issue. But we're going to go over all that here right after our intro. New. Let me fix that real fast. That's cool. I always won. It's all right. We can fix this real quick. Whoop. Awesome. Well, for those that are showing up first time tonight, let me catch you up on what has happened the last couple weeks. So, our players finding themselves back at Caer Konig where things just had begun. They found, though Caer Konig was not in the same way as it was. It was destroyed. There were parts of it that were on fire when they arrived. There were people in shelters and others that were missing. They had found that the Goliaths have chosen the opportunity to utilize their strength in order to force servitude from some of the people of Caer Konig in order to gather food and simple tasks. During this moment, our players headed off to what was called the Sky Tower Shelter, where they met an individual by the name of Arn, the chief there. And he had finally revealed his ruthless plan once the Northern Attitudes passionately pleaded for the freedom of the people of Ten Towns. His ultimatum was grim. In exchange for the chance of freedom, the group must execute this long-plotted revenge against the rival clan of the Wyrmdoom. As a gesture of good faith, he decided that he would free Arowina's father, Finn, but the rest would have to remain as servants until the deed was completed. Rahi, a fierce warrior of the tribe, led them down into the tribe's rugged mines, where they were harvesting hardy legumes and roots for the Goliath and themselves. Yet amidst the shadowed corridors, they stumbled upon a Durgar mining party. A brutal battle erupted with near deaths and desperate moments as the comrades fought fiercely to protect one another. Despite the odds, they managed to save every townsfolk and escape the cavern and then sealed it off from the outside. Now, resting for the first time in what feels like days, in the deep caverns of the Sky Tower Shelter, the party has to make a decision on what the next step is, and that's where we're starting this evening, as our players pick up there. Tonight, however, before we start, kind of give you a background of what has been happening with Castle. Castle was one of the only players that was able to, or one of the only people that was able to actually make it through during the demiplane fiasco with our other players. Castle had arrived days before at the Sky Tower Shelter and has kind of been taken in by them as protected. She's roamed the halls without any complaints, any issues. She's seen that the people of Ten Towns are being treated fairly and worked not very hard, just enough to supply both the Goliaths and themselves with food and shelter. She's been able to figure out that they're extremely competitive. Earlier, you had heard a group of people cheering down what seemed to be a cavern hallway, and what you didn't know is that one of them was Castle, as she was playing the infamous game known as Rockhold. And there's a place where she's placed her things and has been able to kind of recuperate any strength that she had lost over the travels, and has been living with them for about the last 3 days. But the rest of you wake up. What do you guys do? As Rahi comes into the room shortly after a full night's rest, she comes in and you can hear this chittering of a very tiny a griffin, I wouldn't say cub, pup, however, chick, whichever one you want. There are about 3 different types of animals, so it's hard to understand which one it would be. And she comes in.
It's a chicken cub, let's be real.
What's that?
It's a chicken cub, let's be real.
It's a chick cub, yep. So as she comes in, she checks to see if you all are awake, as this little thing starts going, like this really nasty squawk comes from this bird.
Yeah, I think after hearing that sound, Benji jumps out of bed with her great axe and she's like ready to strike and remembers where she is. Okay. Wow. I'm just gonna go back to sleep now. And I go back into bed.
There.
I'll wake up Good morning, Rahi.
Morning.
And I'll begin my morning ablutions.
Okay.
Do a prayer. And so are we on rations or can we impose upon you for some food?
If you're okay with root vegetables and things we find underneath the in the ground, I mean, you're happy
So
to
long as
eat
it
with us.
isn't trout. If it's trout, I'll make do.
I tell you what, I've got some herbs and spices here in my cooking kit. Why don't you just take me to where you prepare your food and I'll have a go at it.
All
How's
right.
that sound?
Sounds good. She's going to, if anybody else is following her, she's going to lead you down the corridor back to the feasting hall, where a long rectangular fire pit kind of sits in the middle of this of the room, kind of indented into the ground itself. There are what looks like grates over top of it, and then you see mostly like furs laid around it, so you can see most of they're sitting directly on the floor, um, and they have just large sticks that they're using in order to flip food and things like that. And there's about four Goliaths currently within that room that are just grilling kind of whatever they have in. This looks like maybe some mushrooms and a root vegetable that they found down in the mountains.
All right, I'll just start. I'll break out my kit and I'll start seeing about, hmm, there's five of us,
Mm-hmm.
including Rai. And
There's four of
yeah,
you,
I'll just
including Rahi.
four of us.
Right.
Oh,
Hmm.
right. We don't know Castle's here
Sturm has
yet.
wandered off, and Castle is in another quarter.
All right. Awkward. Okay. But me being me, I'll make a meal for six.
Okay. Give me your.
Um,
Give me. Let's do our first roll for the night then.
yeah.
And as always, I ask for the blessing of the Earth Mother to help me
Sounds good.
out with my cooking. Um, what am I rolling? Is it survival
It is
or
survival. Yep.
okay? And the cook's utensils, it says here. Oh, okay, it's still just plus five. Okay, and hang on. Survival, abilities, wisdom, public roll, mode normal. Situational bonus. Oh, it's different. Hmm, normal.
Are we flagging on? There we go.
It's a 13. Nothing spectacular.
Nothing spectacular, but you're unsure exactly how to cook these. So that's part
Mhm.
of it. You're not sure if you need to cook them too much or what the timing would be. But adding the herbs and spices will at least make it somewhat satiable, no matter how long it's cooked. Um, some of it you cook too much. Some of it you cook kind of right, um, and then you feel that some of it is still not cooked enough. But it's still satiable as you prepare a meal. And the rest of you are welcome to wander out. And I will say at that point, Castle, you would catch that smell, those random aromas that you're not used to, but almost catches your nose as nostalgia for a moment.
I think probably like the last like routine the last couple of days because like I've been playing this like rock game. I feel like any of like the younger like Goliaths have kind of like latched on
Mm-hmm.
to me, and so like I've been spending a lot of like my mornings like with them, just like teaching them little things and just just being as out of the way socially with like any important people as I can
Mm-hmm.
so as to not potentially overstep. And once I get like this whiff of like nostalgia, I'm kind of like, okay, this is definitely different than my last couple of mornings. And like, I feel like I kind of have to like push the young ones like off me. I'm like, okay, I gotta go.
Hey, I mean,
Like, I
come
gotta go
on.
do things.
But we got one more game.
I'll, I'll be right back.
Fine.
I'll be right back. But remember, shoulder,
Yeah, shoulder
then
hold
throw.
and
Yeah,
throw.
and then throw. Don't throw from back here. Let it go out here. But
Yeah.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
All right.
It's fine. And I'll follow the clear scent of
Okay.
smell.
Yeah. So you had been right outside the Griffin Caves, where a lot of the youngins play here in the Sky Tower. And you kind of move past where the barricades would be, where you entered, and then down the hallway, you would notice, you would know where the feasting cave is. It's just this scent is different.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you're not the only one that's following this scent, as this is starting to permeate throughout the tavern or the tower. As you start hearing just stomping coming from within the tower, as five other Goliaths are following Castle in. Two of them very large, brutish looking, and then three that have more of a either a worker's build or a non-fighter's build.
I think there's probably like one kid who like no matter what I try to do, like I just can't shake this kid is like at my heels.
That would be Nara. She's a little older than a teenager. Has two full braids, one on each side of her head, but she has that same very similar Goliath look, where the hair is way back, but it comes out to two braids.
Yeah.
And you've actually, like, she's picked at your feathers and placed them in her hair, so she's just been around you most of the day.
Yeah,
Past couple of days.
she's fully just like latched on and like I feel like I told her I had to leave and like I definitely thought that I had lost her and like I turned around and she's like right there. I'm like, okay, come on. We're going to eat.
I mean,
I have
why
adopted
not?
a child, I guess.
It wouldn't change. I mean, it wouldn't be a complete out of the blue thing for this party to
No.
adopt another kid.
No.
Yeah. So
And I'll just make my way. I think too I'm just like a little unfazed that other people are following. Like it's
I mean, it would still be
I
daytime. Like, it would still be morning
yeah.
time. So seeing a crew of Goliaths heading to Chow is very normal.
Yeah.
However, what you see as you walk into this large pit, where the cooking is being placed, you see two Goliaths that have been in there most of the last 2 days that you've been there, and then you see a much different figure as Jinjak is kind of curled over top of this grilling with two sets of sticks, flipping them back and forth, and you immediately notice the headgear that he's wearing.
Yeah. I think I kind of like steal myself for like a second and then I'm just like, Chit-Jack!
I look and say, "Oh my goodness, it's Lady Castle.
Oh my gosh.
You're here.
You
Oh,
I've been here.
well, we haven't seen you for a while. Oh my goodness, you,
3 days?
wow, seems like a long time anyway.
Seems like a long time.
We certainly could have used you yesterday.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, we should let, Benji's fast asleep right now, being a great lug in the morning as she is. Let me go wake her up. Hang on.
I can go get her. You're clearly got your hands full here.
Oh no, I want to wake her up. I pick up a
Oh,
large
okay.
stick.
Well, I won't stop you. I
I run
won't
over to
stop.
where Benji's sleeping and I throw the stick at her. Uh, I'm aiming for her foot,
Okay.
not her head.
Um, all right. So from where you walk into, which is down a hallway, you're able to see a grouping of cots pretty much are built in there, and you've got Arowina in one and Benji in another, and then a couple other Goliaths just laying out in this area, this communal area.
Oh, Irina's asleep still? Okay.
I mean, I didn't get a chance to say that she would have followed Jinjack.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
She would have been working on healing potions, but she could also be asleep. It doesn't bother me.
You could also be working on healing potions in there. I mean, that's an
Yeah.
opportunity as well.
It's a
However
quiet
you would like.
activity. Yeah, she would have been working on healing, using her herbalism kit,
Okay.
with bips and bobs to try and make healing potions.
Okay.
So I wake up Benji. I poke her with a stick in the foot. I said,
Um,
"Let's go castle," and I hand castle.
You feel this very like dull pinch to the bottom of your foot as he's poking you with the stick.
I take out my longbow and I draw it, and I just look around for a second. Ugh, I'm still in the same place. I thought this was a dream. And then I like look around and I see Castle, and I just stare at her for a second.
Hi.
Oh shit! Wait, no, you're really here?
As I told Jinjack, I've been here, but yeah.
Wait, you've been here? And I like I don't even finish the sentence. I tackle Castle to the ground and a hug.
I know I let it happen.
Right.
I've been tackled by children for 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
And
let's
Goliath
go.
children are not small, so being tackled,
No.
and they feel like rocks as they hit you. So
Yes.
being tackled by Benji is very similar feeling.
Yes.
But that warm embrace of your friend and the person that you've really cared about over the last months is now back together. As the two of you are almost like tossing back and forth on the ground, you can see Arowina just sitting on the cot, messing with some herbs and crushing them in to make whatever potion she's working on. Hopefully healing. Let's
Hopefully
do let's do a survival for you as well, Alex.
Okay, works for me. She will let her ancestors in the stars guide her a little bit as well. No, that's not going to be great. That's only a 10.
You put something together. You're not sure
Okay.
how potent it is. Put a on your character sheet. Put a healing potion with 3 question marks next to it
Okay.
for me. You've created a potion.
Who knows what it
Who
is?
knows what it is?
We'll find out.
With a 10, you at least know that it has the opportunity to do healing of some sort, but how much is going to be the question.
Okay. Hey, look, 1 HP
It's
in a
still
dream
one.
is still better than where we were at.
But the amount of
Oh.
noise starts to wake the other 3 Goliaths that are also in there. Just kind of.
I announced that breakfast is almost ready. If any of you are hungry, I reckon you are. And then I go,
Breakfast?
yeah. Then I ask oh geez, I forgot to write her name. I know her name, the Goliath lady,
Rahi.
Rahi. I say, Rahi, I'm gonna need some more roots.
You look around. Rahi did not return with you.
Crap.
She actually
All right,
went like once she placed you in the communal area or the feasting area, she headed back towards the Griffin Caverns where she does most of the training.
I shrug and see if I can. Well, I do what I can with what I find.
There's others in there. If you wanted to ask questions, they could kind of direct you towards storages areas or where you
No,
might be
I
able to
don't
gather
believe
stuff.
in that. I'm not a slave for them. I like cooperative work. I'll walk over to one and say, "Pardon me, Sir Goliath, but I might be a bit short on cooking for everyone. But if you want to imbibe in the meal, I'd appreciate it if you could go to storage and bring along some raw materials, and I'll make some fine victuals for you."
Sure. He kind of gets up and
Seems reasonable because I only made for six, and I reckon each of you is two. So, so so I have enough food for three Goliaths.
you get this
Prepared now.
very like straight but pointed grin from the one that you're standing in front of. Is this man stands about 8.5 feet tall. He's got that heavy chiseled chin and markings on the right side of his face as he kind of looks over and says, let's see what we have. And he kind
Just
of
saying.
trots off.
And I busy myself
Okay.
with bustling, and I'll get out some of the good spice because Castle's back in it, and you know, figure I'll make it special.
All right. Takes about 10-15 minutes, but the Goliath that you just spoken with grabs some extra stuff from the storage bins and tosses it into what seems to be a broken down barrel and just carries it in and just places it in front. Just, just do.
Yeah. Can I make another survival roll?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or should Okay, I'll do it, and I'll do a prayer for the goddess as
Okay.
well.
Failing this one will make it less for most people, but success makes a lot more
23.
people happy. With the 23, it's definitely successful as you've learned from your previous moment as one of the Goliaths that you had originally been talking to in the feasting halls has grabbed what seems to be a similar to a potato, but it wasn't cooked well enough, and you can just hear them like chomping on it. Maybe cook that one more next time.
I'm doing my best to make enough for, well, I'll whatever they give me, I'll cook it as best I can
Okay.
so I can feed as many people as possible.
And about this time, you actually see some of the villagers from Tin Towns coming in as well, gathering some, getting some food, and sitting down kind of in this area to the back end of the communal pit, the communal feasting area, where they're just talking. Um,
Can I try to listen in on what they're saying?
a lot of it's very simple stories, talking about family back home, when they're when they're hoping to get back, what they want to do with their families. Um, Hopefully, it'll be back soon. They've only some of them have mentioned that they've only been here a few weeks. Others have been here about a month, um, but it hasn't been much longer than that at this point.
Yeah, I think Benji goes and she finally lets go of Castle. She has her in like a koala bear hug this whole time. And she's like, "All right, I need to eat now." And she walks out of the room, grabs her stuff before she goes. Um and she kind of just she wants to take in more of the like surrounding area of where they are.
Okay. So in the feasting caves, like I said, it's a large cavern opening, just room, and there is what seems to be a ingrained like I wouldn't say line, but like square broken into the ground itself, and that's where they put the coals. And they're using the heat from the actual volcano itself as extra ways to cook. And They have little grits, like grades over them that they're using in order for it to not drop in. But everything else is sitting on the ground. Nobody has like stools or tables, chairs, none of that. And a lot of the stuff is cooked similar to the way you would cook a campfire. So large sticks that have got food placed on top of it, like kebabs, things like that, is kind of what Jinjak's preparing, just utilizing his spices and herbs at the same time.
Okay. Is are we all out here for breakfast? Did anybody stay in the room?
Erwina did because it takes 1 day to brew a potion.
Okay.
So she's still minding that.
Okay.
I think if Erwina is still in the room, I will turn around. Hey, are you coming to breakfast?
I mean, I don't know. And she like looks at like this like weird gelatinous. It almost looks like Jello. I've never really made one of these before, and I don't know how long I'm supposed to be watching it. Like,
What is that?
it's a healing potion.
Is it supposed to be that color?
It's a shade of red. It's it's kind of like it's kind of like a healing potion.
You don't sound very sure.
Well, they're usually more liquidy than this, and she like shakes it and it does like the little jello mold.
Oh,
Like,
that looks gross. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, it's better than dying, I assume. Dying kind of sucks.
Okay, let's see if it
You know,
works.
it kind of reminds me of when Glenn would make these things at the tavern he called gelatin shots.
What is that?
Oh, a gelatin shot? It's where you use gelatin, which I probably don't need to tell you what gelatin's made out of. It's a really gross process. But they're basically it's like almost like a liquid and a solid at the same time. Like
Why would I...
real barcraft magic there. You don't know how it happens.
No, I don't even like the thought of that going into my mouth. So,
Well, then
I'm gonna
don't
stop you.
die. Then don't die.
I mean,
and
well,
you
who's
have to
gonna
drink
test
it.
out your potion, you know?
I assume somebody's gonna eventually be dying, and I'm gonna have to shove it in somebody's mouth and make them chew at the same time. This is
I
very
consent to a
That
Jello
is-
shot. Fully. I fully consent to a Jello
Okay.
shot. I'm down.
Once it's done setting, we'll try that.
I mean,
Okay.
I've got to go back to the kids and fully get my ass wrung playing this game, so we can try it out then.
Wait, are you playing the rock game too?
Yeah, I'm kind of coaching now. I don't know. They like my forms. They keep asking me to teach them new forms, so I'm winging it.
I just looked at Erwina. Why didn't you coach me? You just made me hold a rock yesterday.
We all come from different schools of thought when it comes to the rock game. It's a whole thing. Everybody has different thought processes, and you did very good at holding the rocks the entire time. The entire time, you did really good.
Yeah, and your dad almost did really good too. I mean, I did see his knees buckle a little bit.
Yeah, and then he
You know,
almost died several times.
well, we almost all died several times.
Nora
Well,
is
you know,
our
now-
star
Huh?
player.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Wait, would you coach me? I want to win, Castle.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'll say yes, but they get to pick teams and then they get to decide who I'm coaching. So
Wait, there. Hold on, there are teams now.
ask Nora. They have a full system.
Oh,
Benji
hi,
is like mine is this.
I'm Nora. Sorry.
Oh my god, have you been in here the whole time?
She does that. She does that.
Sorry.
It's fine. Nora, it's fine.
Benji is just like clutching her chest. Oh my god.
The
Okay.
the way I
Wait.
imagine it is just like she's just there all of a
Yeah,
sudden, just
Nora
like
just kind of
fully.
like slides out from like the back area where you walked into, and she's kind of sitting there, and she's
I'm unfazed at this point. This has happened so many times at this point that I am fully unfazed.
like the
I just
worst thing that
assume that
happened to
she's there,
you.
so I point to it.
Yeah, the worst thing that happened to you is it was like 2 nights ago, like the second night you were here. You woke up and Nora was like over. She was like
Yeah,
over top of you while you were sleeping, and she was trying to pick one of the raven's feathers to
yeah,
add to her hair.
yeah, yeah. So I had to like have a very like serious conversation. I was like, the dead of night is an unsafe place for me. Weird things happen around me in the dead of night. Not good. Now let's show you how to put this in properly.
And she did. It.
Nora, you know, I from now on, announce yourself.
Oh,
Please.
Around this one, announce yourself.
I'm very jumpy.
I am Nara Lone Chaser.
Nice to meet you. I'm Benji Goldenclaw.
That's some beautiful hair.
Thank you. It's very hard to maintain in the coldness, but I've been trying with Erwina's help.
Have you? Do you have any? And she like pulls out what looks like heavy tufted brush, and she just walks over and she just grabs and starts like brushing out the knots in your
Oh,
hair.
you don't. You don't have to. Thank you
Oh,
though.
it's all right.
No,
You're
no, it's
Nora.
I just looked to Castle.
Mm-mm.
and she just
Hey.
kind of like you feel it's funny because as a lady you would most likely expect her to have a very like soft touch, but it's like if a rock is grabbing a hold of you when she's grabbing the like your shoulder. She's very gentle with the hair, but when she gets a hold of it, you can feel it.
And she's very like, how tall is this
Uh,
girl?
Nara is a, almost 6 foot,
Oh, so she's taller than me because I'm 5'8".
but
She's like my height. I'm like 6'1".
but she hasn't.
Okay.
She's not built the same as a full adult Goliath, so she's a little slimmer or like slender. Um, but she still has that same build. Very dense in like the muscle density is very heavy as well. So like I said, when she grabs a hold of you, you can feel it.
Nara, why don't you go wrangle all the kids up and we'll meet you there?
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It was nice meeting you.
You as well.
And she like darts off.
I just turned to Benji and I'm like, she means well, just let it happen.
I mean,
Just,
okay, yeah,
just
she's a
let it
she's a
happen.
child. I get it. I get it. Kids they love to play. How old is she?
16.
Okay.
She's
Oh,
much more curious than everybody else. Like the kids are really curious, but of the kids, she's intrigued is the word I would use. She's intrigued. I don't think she's gone out on any type of quest or party or hunting. I think she's home and restless. So just gotta harness it a little bit.
hmm. I understand. Okay, I understand.
And
I will.
I'll like grab whatever the equivalent of like beef jerky is and start walking towards Nara.
Okay. You have to walk back through the feasting caverns.
That's fine.
As you do, you start to hear this sound of like stomping on the ground. As you come into the feasting area and you now see people in full blown competitiveness playing this game called Rockhold, or as the Goliaths have called it, Pohaku, where they're holding these large rocks in both hands. And the idea is utilizing your body and the rocks themselves without letting your rocks fall. You're kind of wrestling without letting either rock fall, and you can't take them out of your hands. As one of these Goliaths full blown shoulder like checks the other one as they're stumbling back, holding these rocks, and barely holds on to the second rock before kind of re-stepping themselves. But the crowd is loud in here.
Got it. All right.
And you see
I think I'm
Nara's kind
just
of
gonna
got about
observe.
halfway there until she
Yeah.
stopped. And now she's kind of trying to squeeze in between two large, fully adult Goliaths to see what's happening.
Yeah, I'll go over to what she's trying to look at, and
Okay.
I'll kind of like do that thing where like you stick your leg out to like boost someone off of like your leg,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like I'm like kind of like just like let her very heavy body like step on my
Pull up,
leg because
yeah.
she's done it a lot already.
Give me an athletics check, please.
Yeah.
And are any of you not paying attention to this? That is the question.
Dead.
Or is everybody enthralled in this idea of what is happening right now?
I'm still stuck on breakfast, which we haven't had yet.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
They once the competition starts, breakfast was kind of ignored, and it's just kind of laying out at this point.
Oh, okay.
Erwina is still trying to figure out if it's a solid or a liquid.
And Benji is dragging Erwin
It's a
out
whole
towards.
it's a whole science experiment over here.
So no one wants to eat?
No, I am dragging Erwina towards breakfast. You can look at that at the table. Actually, don't look at
okay.
it at the table, please.
No, look, it almost looks
It-
like there's an eye in it. I don't know where I found that in that
Why
can.
are you? No. Leave it here.
You're hearing these like just very strange squishing and like gurgling sounds as she's moving the bottle back and forth, looking similar to what a lava lamp would look like, but it's just like gloops of different colors of red.
I don't understand what's going on in it. Like,
I don't
what is
either.
happening?
Sit. Just put it by your cot. Come on,
Okay.
man. I'm starving.
I mean, I still have to stir it. It takes a whole day, I think.
So you're gonna just sit there the whole day and mess with this thing?
I
You're
mean,
not gonna eat.
the options are I can eat, I think, in between stirring sessions, but you and Jinjack had a real rough go yesterday.
Indeed,
So,
we did.
Indeed, we did.
like, I feel like this is a priority, is like us not continuing
Dying?
to die. Yeah.
Well, I still don't imagine why you'd have to do it all day, but if you say so, but at least grab a bite to eat.
It's
Arena.
what it says in this like weird note. And she like pulls out a note that's like health potions, cook all day. And then at the very end there's like a scrawl that says Jiang Jie at the very bottom. I don't
Well,
know
I was
what's
gonna,
note in here. It's what the rules say. I guess.
Besides Benji and well, who's here? Because I'm about to do my morning story.
Everybody is in here along with Nara, about 6 other Goliaths. 2 are playing Rockhold, and 3 others that are kind of starting to head this direction. So this place is getting pretty crowded.
All right. Once everyone's settled in with food, and I'll hurry so that Arena can get back to her goo.
I
thing.
mean, I brought it with me.
Oh, you do?
Jack, does this look correct? Does this look correct? I put a
I
label.
asked you not to, and you did it anyway.
I have no idea if that is correct or not, Arwina.
It seems to have solidified, and now it like shapes.
Well, one of
Yeah.
us is unconscious or badly injured. We'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, if you're dying anyway, why not?
Oh, I trust you're not making poison, Arwina.
I mean,
Doubt that.
I'm I'm glad you trust me that much. This moment.
Benji is just staring like daggers at Erwina right now.
Oh, I've faith in the gods. That's all I have to say. Let me tell y'all a story.
Give me a persuasion check real quick, or performance.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Because I'm curious to see if the "let me tell you a story" stops the competition.
21.
All of a sudden, it's like a booming voice echoes throughout the room as stomping stops. The two people holding the rocks just kind of pause for a second, and you now have about 14 pairs of eyes looking at you.
All right. I don't freak out. I'm used to this. Once upon a time, in the misty ghost-haunted Velen Peninsula, there was a treasure hunter by the name of Sandal Bubblegrits. A fairly hairy halfling with a day job of a deacon at the local church of Shantea. Deacon by day, treasure hunter by night. Indeed, with sunset, Sander would close up the temple and sneak out with his trusty shovel and his bullseye lantern. He'd trundle off to the Barrow Downs. It's just a fancy name for a big graveyard with a bunch of old ruins from Eastern Velen. And see if he could dig up some old coins and shards of pottery. Not for personal gain, not for greed. No, no. Deacon Sandal fancied himself an amateur archaeologist. Well, one dark night while he was digging, Sandal unearthed a strange stone door in the side of the Barrow Mound. And I'll continue for a while and then I'll end up after 10 minutes. It took a while for Deacon Sandal to complete the rites to lay the Barrow spirit to rest, but once the bones were blessed, the spirit passed on to the afterlife. That is at Promised Sandal, the location of an ancient amphora left over from some forgotten empire. He wrote up a very detailed account of the amphora that was published in the Velenese Archaeological Society periodical, and the amphora is still there in that temple of Shantea. They stuck some flowers in it and used it as an altar decoration. Things don't turn up in the world unless somebody turns them up. Anyhow, just thought I'd share that little bon mot of wisdom. Please enjoy your meals. May the blessings of the goddess and all the gods, mine and yours, be upon you. That's 7 temporary hit
7
points.
temps for our party.
Yeah.
And for
That's 7 for all party members, which is actually, and I'll hit Ria because I can do up to 6 people.
Okay.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and I'll hit Ria because actually there's 4 of us, right?
Right, there's 4 of you now. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 4 of us. So I'll hit Ria and what's her face? I'll hit Castle's little follower.
Nara.
With the other
My
one.
little shadow.
Yep. Castle's new shadow.
Love it.
As an unexpected turnout that Castle you've seen multiple times since you've been here, that competition is a big thing here with between the Goliaths. To see an entire crew of Goliaths stop in their steps is odd alone. Some of them, like I said, they've got kind of this curled up, like hands under their chin, listening to the. One will randomly during the time frame lean over and grab a stick of vegetables and random random roots that you were grilling up and just kind of gnaw on it while they're listening. And then something interesting happens. A male Goliath, probably about 9 feet tall, wearing similar to what would be just a fur like shawl over top of him, walks over to you, Jinjak, and says, "Kinda sounds like the stag spirit."
Oh,
Your,
what?
your goddess.
Oh, well, yes. Well, it's different strokes for different folks. I call her the Earth Mother, Shantea, but I do know in different parts of the world she has different aspects as the manner of gods, of course. We could certainly get into a theological discussion after breakfast if you want to, we could compare notes.
I'd like that.
Boy, I'd like that too. I enjoy a theological discussion.
I'll have to show you where we keep those.
Oh, your stag spirit?
Oh, we have runes, well, totems,
Oh, fascinating.
deep within the caves.
Oh, well, thank you
Come
very
find
much.
you
I'm
after
Jane
this.
Jack, like I said. May I have your name, sir?
Yeah. I'm I'm Nagath.
Nagath.
Nagath Thunder Smasher.
Thunder Smasher. All right.
Kind of gives you a nod, a heavy nod, and he holds out a large hand.
I give him well, I'm not wearing gloves. I give him my bare hand
He
and one hand, and
shakes.
I hand him a large bowl of root stew with the other.
Whoa.
Enjoy, or
Oh,
as we
wait.
say back in Felon, bon appetit.
Going up the rocks. And he just grabs, just starts picking out like the food out of the stew and just starts eating it. Um, but yeah, no, Nagath kind of wanders over to a spot where there's some furs laid on the ground and places himself down, knees, and then kind of sits back on his feet. In that similar fashion that most of them sit at. And it doesn't take long before food is passed out between the entirety of the crew. Um, and then, of course, as with all things of this clan, rowdiness begins again. As one says, "Well, I can hold the bigger rock." "No, you can't." "Yes, I can. I got the rock this time. I'll take him out next time." And they banter back and forth and bicker and grumble until food is finished and they start going back at the idea that who can hold the rocks the longest. This almost to the point where, Benji, I need you to roll me a dexterity save.
11.
11, you kind of trip. The one kind of trips over you as he steps backwards. "Hey, watch where you're sitting."
I'm sorry, did you just hear yourself? You just told me to watch where I'm sitting.
Anyway,
And I just kind
he
of
kind
look
of
at
holds
yeah,
both
just
rocks
kinda,
at the same time, just kind of keeping
I try to trip
balance.
him. I will. I want to try to trip him.
You try to trip him? Okay.
hmm What do you want me to roll?
Give me a athletics or acrobatics, or actually, for a trip, it would just be a attack roll, and then he's going to base it off of that to how much he has to roll for his dexterity save.
20.
20. This will be amusing. I guarantee it. 9. As
Hey, watch where you're.
he
Watch where you're falling.
kind of falls down, and the other one goes, "Aha! I win!"
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I guess you weren't that good to begin with anyway. And I go back to eating.
I'll remember you.
Okay.
and kind of
I'm
walks
sorry.
off, his head kind of down.
I just like look at Benji as like Nara's
My
trying to pull me away for like the kids area of where they're having a ruckus. And I just
Mm-hmm.
look at her and I'm like,
and I'm just like gesturing back as I'm like eating my soup, and I'm also poking the ever loving crap out of Erwina. Like you know how a sibling, when your siblings like poke you in the side, that's what she's doing to Erwina.
As Benji starts to poke Erwina, Erwina pulls out her health potion and goes, "Go get back! Get back!" Starting to threaten.
A couple Goliaths look
Ugh.
over.
Yeah.
What are we getting back for?
Oh, I have this in a jar, and she'll just kind of jiggle it, and it's just like an assortment of sounds it should not be making. Yeah.
About that moment
And I'm
happens,
just
and this goes on for about another hour, two, just this bantering, picking out between Goliaths and the party, and then all of a sudden everything goes quiet as you hear footsteps coming from the back end of the feasting hall. As three individuals start to walk in. Arn, who you have met earlier, the chief, another individual who stands to the behind him and to the left, and then a very old Goliath woman who's being pulled, like kind of like held by one hand down. When I say old, this woman's got droops on her face. She has these very large spectacles that look like they've been carved out of rock, and then just kind of shined to keep it almost. It's going to look like almost like stained glass, almost against the in the glasses. And she has long gray black hair. It's kind of speckles, wrapped in this massive braid that goes all the way down back towards the lower portion of her back. And
the second person, who were they? Just like some attendant?
so Arn would be the chief.
Yeah,
You would
I
have
have met
met, or you would have at least seen Harad.
Harad.
Harad
Okay,
is his husband, and the lady is Harad's mother.
gotcha.
Now, normally, she is never shown at the feasting area, so having her show up is strange. The last few nights you've seen Harad and Arn or a helper of Harad come in to gather food and bring it back to her, but you've never seen her actually enter.
Gotcha.
And she kind of wanders up, and it's the only time you see somebody bring out what looks like a stool. And it's just a large rock, but they place it down, and that's where she very gently holds one hand down and kind of does the stoop slide to
Yeah,
sit.
yeah.
Mother, it's all right. We'll get you food. And he wanders over and grabs some food off the Stokes and takes it back to her. Arn looks around. So have
I
you made
think.
your decision
But
yet? Are you willing to take my offer?
Oh, you mean with regard to dealing with the rival tribe?
Yes.
I did have a thought. Have you? We fought the drug Dugar this morning or yesterday. Is it possible that a group that at least we know, that causes division within the realm of Icewind Dale in general, could they not have been the ones who slew the Griffin hatchling that has caused so much trouble? They
No,
are
there's
quite
no way.
tricksome.
Mm-mm. Had to be the other ones.
Hmm.
Had
Well,
to?
Had to.
What proof do you have that
Yeah.
it was the other
Do you have
one?
any evidence that would it would give us a much stronger point of discussion with the other tribe if we had any evidence,
We
like
found blood
even
on it.
a body.
We have found the blood of the creature, and they were the last ones that we were in contact with. And then after the goat ball game, that was the last kill.
Hmm.
There's all kinds of tricksy magic that Juogar have,
Mm-hmm.
at the very least of which is, the whole height shifting thing, and such the like. I wouldn't put it past him to find some way.
You think
How
it's
about we put it
somebody
this way?
else?
If we find evidence that you've been deceived, would that not be pretty much the same as enacting revenge against those you believe who have wronged you?
We would have to negotiate then.
Well,
Survival of
one
my
moment,
clan
please.
is the first purpose. Uniting the clan under the Sky Tower is the second. I'm
I
hiring
see.
you to handle that.
We've seen magic like this before, recently. There is much magic and problems plaguing Icewind Dale, and I think it's worth knowing all possibilities, not just the one that seems to be what it appears to be. We've seen a lot of things that appear to be that haven't.
And it would be to the, you know, it would weaken you to not have as many allies. So one could think that if they're already digging into your holdings where your food is, they might be trying to separate what allies you have as well. Or it's just a nifty side effect of them doing things.
Fine. Find me proof.
Do an
Sounds
Okay.
insight
reasonable.
check on him.
What's that?
Can I do an insight check on
Go
him?
for it.
It's not gonna be great,
What are you
but
trying to gather?
Hmm. That's very I think I'm trying to determine if if he knows that whoever he's sending us off to kill is innocent or not. So I think I'm trying to see if he's trying to deceive us.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, I really did get a 20.
Heck yeah.
Look at that. With a 20, he is dead serious. He believes that these are the killers and that there is no turning back. And even giving you the opportunity to find a different result is hesitant at best.
Um, would you mind could you take us to where you found your slaughtered goat thing and let us
Griffin.
invest
It's a griffin.
It's
They
a slaughtered
hatchling.
griffin, and they
It's
were playing goat
yeah.
ball. What Arena
what
said.
they said? Can we go investigate?
And that was years ago.
Benji just kind of she's done with the conversation. It's been years. I think she's just like,
Hmm.
oh, this is like a grudge. So I think she's just like, okay, whatever.
This is a feud, but
All right.
it's the Wormtongue clan they're called, I believe.
Wyrmdoom.
Wyrmdoom. Wyrmdoom clan that is the one that they're feuding with. And the belief, just so I'm clear, you believe that the Wyrmdoom clan killed a bunch of your griffins
I think it was just the
during a
one.
during a goat ball. Killed a griffin, thank you, Arwina,
Yeah.
during a goat ball game.
Harad kind of steps up and he says, Arn, why don't you just tell them the story?
That would be helpful.
Well, I love a good story.
Many moons ago, and Harad is going to tell you this now, as though Harad seems to be as much in charge as Arn, a little bit softer spoken, but a lot more the ability the reasonings that he's had to take care of his mother has made him softer when it comes to negotiating with people. Arn has kind of fallen away from that completely and decided that force is the only option. And he says, many moons ago, the children of our sky tower challenged the children of Wyrmdoom to a game of goat ball, one that we have enjoyed for many, many moons. One of the children of the Wyrmdoom, angered by losing, knocked one of our majestic griffins from its perch by throwing a ball at it and striking it in the head. As it was wounded, we took the griffin home and called the game off. Days later, hunters from their clan came up the mountains and slew the griffin from its nest, an insult that we will not take lightly. And we have been in war ever since.
You'd mentioned the blood on the hunters, the griffin's blood.
It's what the stories have said. People who were there.
So there were witnesses that saw this clan slay this griffin.
Two of the elders.
Oh, could we speak with them?
And that's going to be a little more difficult. They don't speak to anyone anymore.
Your elders don't speak to anyone.
They stay within the caverns and watch over the totems.
Ah, well, as it turns out, I will be speaking with them, or at least be having a look at the totems later on.
Oh? What?
Yes, Nagath invited me.
Oh. Goth is a good soul. Strong man.
Mayhap we could all go, have a look at their totems, and I could have a theological discussion, and perhaps we could convince the elders to maybe have a word with us.
I would recommend going with Nagath if he has offered the opportunity, but the rest of you will have to stay. You have to understand that these are sacred areas that not many visitors have ever seen.
Well, I will need one of my sacred creatures with me.
Benji is looking around as he says this.
Do you have a suggestion, creature you're wanting?
Well, I'm usually accompanied by either the bear or a raven or a ptarmigan.
What?
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Did you say a tourniquet?
I just don't want to go alone.
I
But that's fine. I guess if I go alone, I go alone. Fine.
You've been very gracious in letting me roam freely and enjoy the joys of your children as they are wont to share. I'm happy to accompany my companion if you all would see it fit. If not, I do have other questions about the nature of the griffin after its death. but I can ask those whenever.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Nat.
Y'all rolling hot tonight.
Okay.
Wasn't Nat,
Heck
but it was
yeah.
still solid.
No, still it's 20.
I will see what I can do.
It's all we ask.
And he kind of takes Arn by the arm and gives him kind of this nuzzle against the cheek, and kind of pushes him back towards the chief's area.
Do they leave his mom?
His mom is still there, just chilling there.
Okay.
And she is staring off. Like, it doesn't look like she's looking at anyone. She is just staring off into nothingness.
Can I do an insight on her?
Go for it.
I'm just curious about her. See if she's 15.
What are you trying to gather with that insight?
Is she all there, or is she faking it?
From what you can tell with the 15, is she seems to be all there, but she's just kind of off in her own world.
Oh, okay. So
Staring
she's
off.
not acting like she's off in her own world. She is
She
off
is
in her
off
own.
in her own world, yes.
All right. I respect that because, elderly people do that. Or rephrase, that happens to a lot of elderly people.
We all heard it. He said what
We
he
all
said.
heard it.
We all heard it.
All right. So,
I think Benji kind of gets up at this point because she had the bowl that Jin Jack originally gave her,
Mhm.
and she swapped it for a second serving with somebody else at the table that wasn't paying attention to their bowl.
Okay.
So she just took their bowl and just started eating and kind of slid her empty one in their place. In its place, and she just like stands up and she's eating, but she's like looking at Arnid. Did I say that right? Arn. Uh she's looking at his mother-in-law,
Mother-in-law.
and she's like kind of not close to she doesn't want to be in her personal space, but she does that thing, that thing where people like walk in your line of sight. And they're just everywhere you look, they're just there.
Right.
I think Benji is like eating soup and she's just like staring at this woman.
So you've watched
Trying to
other Goliaths
yeah.
walk past her. You've seen you're wandering kind of around her area, but not close enough. She has not taken her eyes off of forward.
So I kind of look in that direction. What is she looking at?
Just down the feasting hall towards the entrance, the other way to come in. But it's even kind of off to the side, like it's not looking exactly at the entrance, but it's kind of like literally staring at a wall.
I think I will go back to the table and grab a different bowl from someone else that's not paying attention.
Roll me a
I'm
sleight
gonna
of
take a
hand at this
spoon.
point.
Yeah, definitely. 17.
Yeah. One of the other ones gets up to kind of like fix some things in the feasting area. It just gives enough time to place the bowl down, and you just pick that one up, place yours back down.
I take the spoon as well, and I just kind of walk over to her, not to frighten her or anything.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You were Hi, I'm Benji. You were just sitting here. I was wondering if you wanted something to eat.
Oh. Yes. And she kind of like tries to find you.
She's blind. Is she blind?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm right here, right next to you. And then I grab her hand. Do you need help? Do you want me to?
No, my son will be back soon.
I'll look around. Where is her son?
Harad took Arn back towards the chieftain's area, which is like a good walk down the corridor. So
Um,
the way the feasting area looks is there's a entrance where you all came out for the communal cave. There's another entrance where the barricades were, where you saw earlier before you led down into the mines, and then there's a back entrance that's another hallway that leads towards the chieftain's area, where you were greeted the first time, where Arn brought you into the throne room.
well, I think your son went to go do something and I saw you, sitting here. If you I can help if if you need help.
Uh, no, I'm fine.
Okay. And do you want me to just sit the bowl down?
And she kind of like,
I hand it to her.
thank you.
You're welcome. Here's the spoon. I'll give it to her.
She slowly, just very, very slowly, just grabs one piece, and you can feel her almost like pushing it to the edge of the bowl to make sure it's there, and then she'll slide it into her mouth. And you can see like she barely has any teeth left. Like she's very old.
This is a sweet little old lady. I love that. Well, I mean, if you need help, again, my name is Benji. You can call me. I will come and help, okay?
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. What is your name?
I have it. Kaniaka.
Taniaka.
Yes.
Lovely. That is a lovely name. Um, Actually, I don't have anything to do right now. Do you mind if I just sit next to you and ask you a couple of questions while you eat?
Sure.
Or would that be too bothersome?
I I don't mind.
Okay. Um, do you remember what happened with the Griffin all those years ago?
My husband says they were killed.
Hmm.
He was part of the
Uh,
first raids. He died that night.
I'm so sorry to hear that. What was your husband's name?
And she kind of drifts off. Like she's just
Hmm.
not even thinking at this point. Like hearing your voice, your words.
I just kind of sit there until she comes back.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
You're just gonna wait up.
yeah, I'm gonna stay by her to help her until her son gets back.
Okay. Um, it doesn't
Actually,
take long, but
one thing. Can I look? Can I do a perception check?
sure.
I want to look for that guy I tripped. Uh, oh, we are rolling so well tonight. 22.
Nice.
Looking around, you had noticed a while back he had already walked out, headed back out towards the out of the feasting area.
All right. All right, I'll just be here,
And you just
and
feel this
I'll sit.
very just soft like placement on your like knee as she's just kind of bracing herself on you. Just, but her voice is just she's stopped talking,
Mm.
and that goes on for about 10 minutes before Harad shows back up. Mother, I'm so sorry. And she just completely dazed. He looks at you and he says, "I'm sorry. She's blind. She doesn't talk much."
Oh no, that's fine. You were gone. I just thought I would help since I was here. Uh, bye. And I just walk away now to just back.
Thank you. And he'll
Yeah.
take kind of like place himself in a position where he's able to lift her up, and then they slowly start to walk back at her speed back towards the chieftain's area. Okay. As that goes on, for about another, you guys are kind of left to your own for about the next 15-20 minutes before Nagath comes back, and he says, would you like to accompany me now?
Ah, yes, I would. Thank you very much.
Of course. And Harad said you had somebody to accompany you.
If I might be permitted, is it still forbidden for me to bring all three of my companions with me?
We would not want to scare the elders by bringing so many in.
All right.
I was
One,
able
two.
to clear one.
Very well. I will take the magic creature. Um, Erwena is one, two. Okay.
Okay. And he's going to leave the two of you back to your own doings here within the feasting hall as he takes you out around the barricade through the griffins coop area where all these griffins, there's about 5 of them in there right now, full grown, as they're squawking and scratching the posts of Rahi kind of waves you by, and then you go deep within it, and you start to see crystals within the caverns themselves that glow on occasion, reflecting against light. And he walks into two small, next to two small 8-foot shrine stones inscribed with different runes that stand in the middle of this 10-foot cave. These is our, we call our shrine of mind and spirit. And you'll notice on this one, you will see a stag as well as a whale on it, kind of carved into it into the gravings.
Uh, Theology, a
Uh,
religion,
yeah, go for it.
prayer to the goddess.
Go for it.
22. We're
Uh,
hot tonight.
Great.
yeah, everybody's hot tonight. Woo! I gotta tell all the secrets apparently. Um, so, for what I've gathered, is your goddess has similar to what we call the Great Spirit Stag. Um, our people gather 4 spirits: the stag, the whale, the tern, uh, and the bear.
As do mine. Erwina gives a nod. I am of the Schemerstrad, the people
Oh,
who
the
migrate.
roamers.
Yes.
They were here last year sometime, towards their migration.
They do tend to get around. We have stories of the stag and of the orca and of the bear. We follow mostly the bear.
That's the other shrine. And he'll point down the hall to another shrine that's there. And that is the Shrine of Strength and Honor. And that is the shrine that holds both the tern and the bear. My curiosity comes with you saying that you're the Earth Mother, as you call them. Is this? But what do you represent the others?
Well, there's a variety of gods that represent. I mean, I'm a pantheist. We have like a. Ooh, I know of Cord. I know of Umberly. I know of can I just rattle off the names of the
Yeah, just
gods that are
rattling off random god
sure.
names.
I know Umberlea because she's kind of scary, and I know of Cord, and oh, and Yenogu because we've had a recent encounter with. Although I guess Yenogu isn't a god unless you're a Knoll, and such the like. But more importantly, just out of curiosity, what's the function of your elders with regard to these totems?
Uh, they're the ones that give blessing to the totem. One for each. Only allowed to have one for each.
Ah, but you have four totems
We have
and
two.
two elders,
We have two totems.
right? The stag and
The the Shrine of Mind and Spirit, which holds both the stag and the orca,
the orca.
and then the Shrine of Strength and Honor, which holds both the symbols of the bear and the tern.
Oh, I see. Um, and these elders who give you guidance and witness things, they don't talk to anyone, right? They're silent.
They're silent, yes. They
Uh,
take a vow of silence when they become the elders of the shrine.
well, how did they tell you that the Worm Fang tribe killed the griffin?
As before they became elders, they were warriors, much like the rest of us. It's not
Well, that's
until you
bloody.
gain a certain age are you allowed to be an elder.
I see. Can
Did
they write?
They they can. Normally they just come out, they sing and give blessing.
Could I write them a note?
I don't see why not. Be happy to present it to them.
I'd be happy to.
Whatever you want to write. What would you like to write on the note?
Could you give us details of the night where you witnessed the Wormfang? I'm screwing that up. Sorry, I have to.
Wyrmdoom?
Wyrmdoom.
Sorry,
Wyrmdoom.
Wormdoom
Wyrmdoom.
clan murdering your griffin.
He will take that, translate it to giant, and if you must, please let me escort you out, and then I'll go present these to the elders.
May I have a moment with the bear totem
Of, of
of
course.
respect?
Um,
And Erwina is gonna kind of go over and pay her own respect in Elvish to the bear totem.
Actually, that's a good point. Sorry.
roll me an Arcana check, please.
Me?
Yes.
Oh no. Where did I put? Can she, will the spirits of the stars help guide her
Do
to
you
be able
do
to?
you request guidance from the stars?
Yes, she does
Okay.
very much so.
As you
As she,
do, you watch the symbol of that would be considered the symbol of the bear
hmm
light up.
it's not good.
As it
Slippery.
does, the entirety of the room, there's symbols of the bear that light up around the room. And you see
hmm
Nagath's eyes go wide and his mouth drop. How
Oh, I,
can you do that?
I, I met Polaris.
You've met the spirit.
Yes.
You were given blessing without the song of the elder.
Well, we all have our own traditions. I carry these stars with me, and we follow his constellation.
Roll me a d6, please.
Okay. That's a 2.
Okay. For the next hour, you have or for the next 24 hours, you can roll on one. You can add this roll to one strength check or one attack roll, as up to the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay, so just remember that. Um, and
She
you
did remind me, so I didn't check to see if the stag was associated with the mother, so I will.
okay?
Just to confirm.
And did you what did you get for your Arcana?
Oh, 3. She has no idea what is happening.
Okay,
So I'll do a prayer to the Earth Mother
okay,
in at the shrine to the stag.
okay. Very similar. Um, Praying to the Earth Mother in a similar fashion, you watch as the stag lights, the symbols of the stag light. Um, and since you're giving guidance to yourself from the Earth Mother, that will light up as well. I need you to roll me a d6, please.
5.
5. Um, so you will be able to add either that to a Wisdom check or a Charisma check for the next 24 hours. Okay.
Sweet. Okay.
I've got to inform the elders of this. No outsider has ever come in and been able to access the blessings that we have without the Song of the Elders.
My apologies. I did not mean any ill intent.
No, you don't understand. This means that there's more connected to us than just what we're told. And you see his inquisical mind starting to just churn.
We're all interconnected on some level. We all live on the same ground, breathe the same air. The water stays in the same system. We are all connected.
You're right. Maybe there is hope for what your plan is. Maybe they didn't kill him. Maybe they did. We need to find a way to prove it, though. I will speak to the elders.
I would hope for peace at all times. It seems, with the timeline unknown, but I would rather think well of who we have to speak to and speak with understanding as opposed to harsh judgments when we know so much is still beyond what we understand.
Can I ask you all a favor? The two
I'll
of
do
you.
my best.
Head to the Wyrmdoom clan. Find the chieftain. Gain a negotiation with her. If we reunite the clans, maybe we won't have to have the bloodshed no more. Find proof. And while you do that, when you return, I'll make sure to get consult with the elders. It'll take
Thank you.
time.
Hagrith, that's the wisest thing I've heard a Goliath say so far.
It was mentioned that it was several years ago. Do we know if maybe there are other witnesses that might have been there?
Most of them
Did
have
all
either died during the first raid or the retaliations over the last few years.
did all the griffin hatchlings die, or just the one?
Well, it was not a hatchling that died.
Oh, okay.
It was much older. They take years to fully grow, and the death of one is considered either ceremonial or disastrous.
We should really let Castle and Benji know what we have discovered.
I'll
I
take
have
you
a
back
sneaking
immediately.
suspicion, however, if Hagrith, uh, that both Benji and Castle are associations with Bear and Raven, and I have a feeling they could activate the shrine too. But it's you up to you if you. I understand your customs.
Find out a way to reunite the clans, and I'll make sure the four of you can get here with no issue. I'd
All
love
right,
to see it.
fair enough.
And you can, his eyes are wide, he's excited. You can see just this urge of interest in the religious connection that you all are making with him.
I get it. He's
Yeah,
feeling
he's
Hmm.
enjoying this more than he probably should. Um,
Oh, do you want to see what Polaris looked like when I saw him as a special treat?
of course.
And she will create a minor illusion in her hands of the great celestial bear.
It's,
Only he was much bigger than this, like much bigger.
it's amazing. I'm sorry. This is so much for me. I need to somehow write it all down and gather the information from the elders, and I don't know where to start.
Start with a song then.
I will. And he sits down and he starts humming.
Yeah.
Um, and as he does so, he'll kind of point you out towards where you came in at. Um, Good luck.
call over as I leave. I do call over my shoulder. Like, don't forget the note.
I have it right here. And he'll start humming as kind of this deep like tone, like a psalm almost, will be echoing throughout the cavern as
Hmm.
you all head out back towards the communal pit, the feasting pits. Is there anything else you would like to do, or would you like to head out? That is the question.
I'll share the information. I'll
Okay.
say Benji and Castle and let them know, and
Hmm.
my own suspicion. But well, I just get the feeling like Castle, you're associated, I believe, with the Raven Queen. That and it might be the same Raven that these Goliaths worship, and Benji, you're associated with some arboreal frost giant bear monster god thing, goddess, whatever, and that might be the bear that is here. Mainly because I don't believe in coincidence. And from what happened with myself and Arwina, then like, basically we're on the right track, I guess is what I'm saying.
I guess my question would be is in the last 3 nights that I've been here, have I had any type of dream or this? No. Okay.
No.
It's kind of her deal, as
It
if I'm in a
is.
space if I'm in a space that she feels particularly belongs to her in some form or fashion, she lets me know. But if she's not talking, then we have nothing to talk.
Who knows the mysteries of the gods, especially the goddess known for secrets.
And boy, does she have. All right.
But
Um,
I reckon we should be off. Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. Go
oh
ahead.
no, no, you're fine. I think before we go, I do want to ask uh Arn or his husband one last question
Okay.
about the Griffin attack.
All right.
Um,
Are you waiting for a specific time? Are you going to barge into the chieftain's area? What is
oh,
your
I would never.
plan?
I definitely think that Castle's treading very lightly here, so I would wait until they were conveniently available, or it would seem I would be permitted to approach them. I'm not
Okay.
rolling up hot tonight.
I have to check. Um, Given your being there for the last few days, you would know that most of the time that Arn would be outside of the chieftain's area would be during food, um, specifically dinner.
Yeah,
Dinner seems to be the latest or the moment where most of the Goliaths will meet, and they'll sing and they'll play games and they'll compete.
right.
But you can have that moment where you know, kind of similar to what you felt at breakfast, but at a lot larger of a community would show up.
And then would that be the same case for his husband, who's a little bit more
Harad doesn't normally come out.
okay. Okay. Then I guess I would just wait for whoever
Okay.
makes themselves available without me being rude about it.
Okay. So you're not going to ask for a audience. You're just going to wait for a moment where there's a passing.
No, I don't want to be any more threatening than I already am.
Okay. Most of the day goes by, and you guys get into the evenings portion as any of the traveling or any of the tribesmen who are out on either patrol or guarding the edges of their domain, that type of thing, they come back to eat, swap out groups, things like that.
I definitely have gotten wrecked by children most of the day.
You've got bruises, you've got bumps all
Yeah.
over you.
My body hurts. Like, I feel very sore.
Okay. So yeah, while that's happening, is anything the rest of you want to do before the evening comes when Orange
Yes.
shows up? Okay.
Erwina wants to make it very clear to her father he is not to leave here if they will have him work very nicely. He is to stay put here until either she or her mother shows up to collect him. She's leaving him at Goliath daycare. He's not allowed to go have adventures after nearly dying several times the day before. You gotta stay here. You seem to like it.
It's not
This
bad.
is good news. Yeah, it's good news. Good news you're staying here for a while. Until either me or Mom comes to pick you up and take you back to Caer Konig. Okay? Do you understand? Do we have an understanding here?
He kind of looks at you strange, but at the same time feels like he's being bullied by his wife at the same time. Like, this is a very similar conversation that Mom would have with him.
Yeah. Or Grandma. You can also go with my grandmother. That's fine.
If the tribe comes
not
by,
your mother.
I'll head out. If otherwise,
Okay.
I'll wait until you return.
Yes.
Deal?
Stay here. It's warm.
I get it. It's warm. It's comfy. I
Okay,
understand.
Okay, good. Good. I accept these terms. And then after having this like sit down of Dad, please stop trying to die.
I'm fine.
She's going to write she's gonna go cast Animal Messenger and write a note to Mom of found Dad.
Found
They're all
Dad.
cool.
Dad's good.
You can pick him up from Goliath Day Camp. If you're coming this way.
Okay.
He's not allowed to leave with anyone else except maybe Grandma. It's like this long like scroll like attached to this bird of like Erwina just like slowly having a small existential crisis like in the midst of writing here's where Dad is.
The writing it like got to the edge and you're like, I still have room. So you flip the scroll over and keep writing. So as you roll it up, you can see the writing on the scroll as it's wrapped around the bird's foot.
And then I almost exploded that one time and everyone said I wasn't gonna explode. And then I did. It's like she's like getting like everything out from like the last couple days.
It's that moment of therapy when they're like, write down everything you did in the last week. And it's like...
It's been a very busy week for Erwina.
It has.
And now I'm doing magic I don't understand. Like, it's like a whole, like a novel on the back of this. Okay.
Yeah. And then at the end it says, made a strange bottle of something. It's goopy. It's weird. It doesn't work right. I don't know what's happening. And it rolls it all up and ties it off.
Yeah. And she's casting it as a ritual. So
okay.
It's supposed to only take 10 minutes. It was more like an hour and a half.
You just have this bird who you've summoned 10 minutes in, show up and just kind of perch around for the next 45 minutes waiting for you to be done with your letter. And then you just see these little bounce tracks of bird feet within the snow. and then it flits
Okay.
off. It flutters off. Okay. Um, the two of you, there during the afternoon, you have it free. What would either of you like to do? If you want to do anything, otherwise, we'll speed up to when castle meets are.
Like I said,
Um,
I'm just wrestling with kids.
yeah, I think I will try to play the rock game.
Okay. With the kids, or are you going to go try to compete?
No, because I will feel bad if I beat the kids. So I'm gonna go bully adults.
Gonna go bully adults. So you find some that are sitting out in the barricade area where they're supposed to be watching for people coming up this way. Also, you can see multiple griffins kind of flying in and out of the coop area where they're on patrol as well. And there's a couple of them. You gather a bunch and coax one of them, decent sized Goliath man, to a game of Rockhold. Rockhold is an easy game that can be played by holding with two rocks. The idea is that you roll a a Constitution save each round, and it's increased by 3. What that does is it's the amount of weight that's slowly starting to wear down on you.
Okay.
So, otherwise known in the language of Goliaths as Bohaku. So, which I didn't realize was very most of the clan names and things like that come from Polynesian culture, which I was like, that's pretty nifty. Not gonna lie. All right, so while Finn is at Goliath Daycare and the kids are being occupied by Castle, Jinjak had his wonderful conversation with Nagath. Benji wanders off to do what Benji does: start trouble.
Yes.
Oh no, she's not holding the rock.
As the two of them, as the individual grabs 2 rocks, a little larger than your hand, and places one in each of your hands, and then another person walks over and places 2 in his hand. And you start. And he takes it pretty simple at first, just kind of giving you like little taps with the rock, kind of like clicking them together, just kind of seeing if you get off balance, just with 2 rocks. Because you can feel that the rocks are not the same weight, and it's part of the game.
Which one is heavier?
Your left hand.
Can I switch the rocks around so that the heavy one is in my right hand instead?
No. Once they're placed, they're placed. If you take them out of your hand, you lose.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the guy is just tapping me. I think so what are the limitations of this game? Can I try to attack him back? Is that okay, or is that
I mean, he's not attacking you. He's kind of just like nudging you. Like, how aggressive do you want to get is the question.
this is Benji?
That's why I'm asking.
She will go 100% just to win the game.
Okay. As you do that, roll me I'll say because you're going 100%. The way this will work is you will roll me a Constitution save with advantage, as you're trying to hold on to yours. If you fail rolling under a 13, you will drop because of intensity. But if you pass, then you're good, because then I have to roll mine at disadvantage.
Okay.
So.
All right. So. With advantage, I got an 18.
Okay. So I have to roll mine at disadvantage.
Ooh.
And I got a 9. So you watch as you push through, and he immediately like connects to the shoulder, and you watch as his arm just kind of roll back, and he drops it. Oh, yeah, tough one.
Well, thank you. You know, I do practice. I was practicing all of yesterday before I almost died. You think I can take on your chief?
Maybe when he plays, Arn doesn't play much, but He's our strongest fighter.
He does seem very busy. And I just kind of I look around for a second and I kind of look for Castle, see where she is. Is she in the room?
No, she's kind of. I mean, she's in the area, but kind of around the corner, in what would be considered the holding area between the coop and the barricade and the Chiefs area. But it's where a lot of the kids are just playing. Some of them are playing, some of them are training. There's two other larger Goliaths in there that are helping with basic maneuvers for weapons, spears mostly, and clubs.
I mean, hey man, you did great. You want to go again?
Man, my shoulder's killing me.
Oh, uh,
It's all
I'm
right.
so sorry. I didn't.
Quite a bruiser, though.
I wasn't trying to be so rough. I sometimes I don't know my own strength.
I can see.
Do you want me to? Let me take you to medical. Do you guys have
I'll be
like a
fine.
medical? Are you
Hey,
sure?
yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay. Who else wants to play? Benji's like going through the room.
Going
She'll play as long
around.
as yeah.
We're not gonna keep playing this game because we gotta
No,
get
we don't have
rolling.
to. I'm
So,
just yeah.
um,
Benji will
but with
definitely
with
try
the
to.
intensity that Benji has, you're getting a lot of people who are interested, but a lot of people who aren't interested to the point where they want to full blown go into like tackle football version of Rockhold. Um,
Tackle football. That is
You
so
wanted
funny.
to get tackled. You should have come hang out with me and the kids. I'm getting wrecked out here.
Yeah. I
yeah,
will go. I will go find after. I don't know. Like my third match, I'm just like, all right, I'm bored. Let me
yeah.
go find Castle.
Yeah, you walk over. Castle's in what looks like a pretzel. Like one of them is sitting on top of her. One has got her legs wrapped around. She's got one rock still. Castle's still holding one rock in her hand, as this other one's wrapped around her neck. It's just a mess looking. It's a jungle gym.
They basically have just changed the rules now where like they make me hold two rocks and then they all jump on me to see if like that's their game
That's
now.
their game now.
That's their game now is let's see how much she can take and I'm
Right.
just getting obliterated by children.
You do you need help?
I'm fine.
You
Just fine.
sure?
I got it. Got
You
it.
and
Oh.
I just look to the one that's just grabbing her leg and the other. Are you sure?
Oh, Nora, that's my ribs. Ah.
Oh no.
Mm.
Is Nora on her?
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, Nara's kind of like sitting on her, like puts a knee into her rib as she's holding on to a piece of it.
I think Benji just sits back for a second and she just watches.
I eventually just fall over because I can't breathe. Like
As
at this point, like Nara's just crushing my ribs and I
yeah,
can't breathe. I just fall over.
as the three Goliath, all three of the Goliaths jump up and down. We won again.
Okay.
I
Go get
okay.
Benji, and I'm just like gonna like
Oh heck.
take off.
Turn and sprint. No, I've had enough small children jumping on me. I'm fine. And I kind of if they run towards me, I think Benji would run back like in their direction so that they're kind of clashing, and she's gonna try to like sidestep them to get to Castle.
Okay, give me acrobatics on that one, please.
All right, don't fail me now, roll. Yep, already knew it.
Yeah,
These
8.
kids are rough.
they're not friendly. Like it's like wrestling with like back country like individuals that are in the farm
They're like
towns.
badgers.
Like badgers. As they just continue to just you like sidestep one but don't realize it as another one is in full blown like tackle mode and just whoom against them as you fall to the ground and it becomes dogpile at that point as one goes up and then the next one goes on and this stack of dominoes is laying on top of you now. You can slowly feel your rib cage start to go inward just a little bit.
Okay, can't breathe. Please.
Oh, oh,
I'll like
sorry,
I'll
sorry,
like
sorry, sorry,
let
sorry,
the
sorry.
kids
And they like die,
I'll
like
like let
roll
the kids
off.
stay on her for a minute before I start like pulling them off.
It's like the alligator roll as it just kind of rolls off.
I just
And
look
then
out
that's my day before I go talk to Arn.
All right. So as you all are playing, we're considering the conversation with Nagath and Arowina's conversation with her father. Into the evening as everybody is inside the feasting pits, and you get this moment to have a final conversation with Arn
Yeah.
before his hospitality starts to dwindle, and
Yeah.
he's more of get the job done or leave.
Right. I think I'll approach him kind of like with that in mind and being like, it's my intention that we do this job and you are satisfied and your hospitality was not in vain in any way. I merely have one final question and inquiry about the nature of the griffin's body when it was dead. And I'll kind of explain to him what I saw when Benji and I arrived back in town of those bodies that were in a weird decaying
Mm.
state and the blood that I saw there and ask him simply, does this sound familiar like what you saw or what others said they saw?
We were told it was a spear that took out the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Our our griffin.
Yes.
I can't be for sure if it was the truth or not. That's what the stories say.
Of course.
That's what I've followed my people with. You've done a lot here in the last few days, keeping the children not only sufficed, but happy. Your companions have skills from what we're being told that are getting around the Goliaths. I worry here soon that more is going to happen. My husband says you have the opportunity to negotiate. I wouldn't unless he pleaded with me today even think there's another opportunity. If you think that this is not the other clan and we can have a negotiation and we can stop the bloodshed, I implore you to find it. But if not, and you can prove that this is them, then I ask you to take her head.
Castle kind of thinks on his word for a minute and then she'll give her response, speaking very clearly that she is speaking for herself and not for the whole of the party's intention. I understand more, probably than most, your desire and quest for vengeance. And I understand that the evidence you have is why. The evidence I have for my own quest is the reason for it. If I had different evidence, I would have a different path, but I don't. So I will tell you this. I believe in my party and our ability to negotiate, and I trust all of them with my life. But because I trust them with my life, I will give my life for them. And if that means that the head comes back with us, as you have wished, then so be it. I hope that by negotiation or by head, you are satisfied, as I have been satisfied with your generosity.
He leans back, looks at you very closely. If I insight this,
I'll
then
tell you the truth.
okay, it's a natural 20.
Heck yeah.
What is he wanting to see?
He wants to guarantee that you're not going to back out,
She is
almost to the point of a
Castle,
blood oath.
yeah. Castle has been highs and lows on her social interactions. That is why she has been as reserved and helpful as she can. When she says that either by negotiation or by head, he will be satisfied, it is the truth.
Okay.
It is. And if he takes that as a blood oath, she will not disrespect that.
Okay.
But she means what she says. She trusts her party, but that trust comes with the fact that she'll die for them before they do. And if that means this head's got to go, it's got to go.
Okay. And he will nod to you and make it so.
Your satisfaction will be met. And then she will politely and respectfully step away in whatever manner she has witnessed over the last couple of days and relay what just happened to her party so that they are understood that I made it clear that our intention is for negotiation, but I also understand we may not get evidence considering how long this feud has been going on. Other options may be our only option. So, but that is my decision, not theirs.
Okay. We're gonna, with that, to let the party kind of mull over the plan going forward. We're gonna take our break.
Nice.
And we'll be back in 10 minutes. And we're back. For those that are tuning in, we have gathered some information about what would be potentially the dangers of and the decisions that the party will have to make, as well as what has happened with this griffin and throughout the ages. Maybe the story has changed. Maybe there's something to it. Our party is definitely against the idea of slaughter at this point, but it could be still on the table. The last moment, Castle was able to speak with Arn, and he asked her specifically to do something. And now they're at the last moments where they get to make that decision. What are we doing next?
So is this the next? Oh, sorry.
Would you like to leave
Is
tonight?
this?
Would you like to leave tomorrow morning? What's your guys' plan?
I'm gonna fire off an aid spell.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I'm assuming that we're heading out right now, and so first thing first, I'll call upon the Earth Mother and put the blessings of Shantea on Benji, um, on Castle, and on myself. Sorry, Arwina, because I don't want to get knocked out again. And
I guess it's my turn to die.
so each of you have an additional five. Um, 5 temporary hit points. So you should have 12 temporary hit points.
Awesome.
And then I'll. We don't have the dog sled. No, we don't.
Nope.
We
This
flew
is
here.
all by foot.
All right. What direction is the Wyrmdoom clan?
So it'll be northeast of here. Kind of, you've got like a down the mountain, across the valley, and then back up the next mountain. Um,
Did Hagrith give me back the notes from the elders?
no, not yet. He stated that probably by the time you would get back, he'd be able to get that information. So,
All right. Was there anything else? I look at the group and say, before we head out.
Oh, we're heading. Oh, we're heading out. Okay. And Benji just kind of slides back into her clothes. She was ready to go to sleep. All her weapons are beside her cot. She's just like, she just starts getting ready. I mean, no, there's nothing else here. We I guess we can go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Benji, lead on. Or you or
I'm
Castle.
still getting turn around. I'm still getting dressed.
Erwina's gonna try and see if she can get some form of transportation from the Goliaths on loan.
okay.
Yeah.
The
I'll
only
trade you this one terrifying potion to borrow. It
Benji
scares
is-
everybody. It scares
Benji is looking at
everybody.
her.
You see how intense Benji is? He's scared of
you're
this.
trying to coerce the Goliaths with a magical unknown potion.
Yeah. For some form of transportation that they can return. It's on loan. You can use this for whatever you want.
We can
Chase
guide you
people
down
with
the
it?
mountain, but after that, we'll be past
All
our
right.
domain, and then you have to watch for You have to watch for the others.
All right. I'll take that. You still want this?
We'll pass. We figured we would
Okay.
lead you down the mountain anyways.
Okay. I thought it'd be worth a try.
I don't think. And you watch Nara kind of peek around the corner. I was like, I don't think this one will allow us to do it any other way. And I'd prefer to at least keep her here.
All right.
So, this Goliath you've never met, never spoken to yet, is one of the guards that sits at the gate at the barricade, but seems to have knowledge of Nara's connection with Castle. She stated she wanted to come as well. We'll take you down the mountain, but she's promised me she won't go any farther. And I'm not telling her father that she did this, because he'll have my head.
Who is Nara's father?
I wrote that, actually. That is Namoth.
Who?
Namoth. Naunoth.
You know what? It just came to my mind. Nobody really told us how far away this camp was, unless somebody did and I forgot. But how far away is this camp?
It's about a day's travel.
Okay. Oh yeah, we can leave now.
Oh yeah, yeah, we'll be fine.
Once you get to the edge of the mountains, you'll wrap around the side of it, and there'll be a large cave system where the Wyrmdoom sit. But once you get past the mountain range, keep your eyes open.
Before we go, since I've kind of been told that Nara wants to come, uh, as like, I guess as like her and I can have this conversation as like we're walking
Okay.
down. I'm gonna like very like I've been very gentle and like playful with her,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna get very stern with her.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like, I know that you're capable, and I know you want to have an adventure, and I know you're a little slippery. And then one of the feathers that she's like put in her hair
Mm.
is like now like in my hand. I'm like, you are not to follow me. And then like I slip it like back behind her ear. I'm like, or this raven will follow you. Are we clear?
Roll me an intimidation.
Hold on. 18.
Nara's never really shown fear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fear, but it is an understanding.
Yeah. And that's all I want. Like I don't want to scare her. But like I'm not going to have the head of a child on my conscience. Like I'm not. And if at any point I see her being sneaky, it's going to get scary.
Right. Um, does anybody here speak giant or no?
I think only Sturm did.
Yeah.
Okay. She kind of runs over to the other one following, or that's leading you down, one of the other guards. And she speaks in giant a few words. And he leans down, he hands her a rock. And she runs over to you, Castle, and she hands it back to you. And she says, the Great Bear Spirit will protect you then. And when you get back, we can play more games.
I would like that very much. And that's all. Like this girl's sneaky, and as long as she understands, that's all I need, and we can move forward.
Yeah.
And I pocket my rock.
Okay. But you guys, you go all the way down the mountain, down a path that seems to be graved into the sides of the mountains, kind of going down this like cylindrical route to the bottom. At the bottom, there are two pillars that are placed in stone with writing on them, and it gives off that similarity of this is where the last step goes. As Nara stands there next to the individual that escorted you down, he places a hand on her shoulder, and they step back about 3 feet towards the mountain. May the spirits protect you all.
All right.
Thank
Let's
you. May the
see.
mother watch over you. Oh, sorry. May this great stag watch over you.
Close enough, Jin Jack. Close enough.
Oh,
And he will, kind of with a very stern hand, hold on to Nara's shoulder, light a torch, and start climbing back up the mountain with her. As you guys watch her, you watch that light just slowly start to circle away until it gets around the mountain to the point where you can't see it anymore.
I'll put a light spell on Benji's axe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think now that we are outside of the compound, Benji's carefree attitude has just completely vanished and she's on work mode right now.
Okay. Give me a survival
Here,
check for whoever is leading this charge.
probably Arwina,
Okay.
unless anyone wants to
I'll
otherwise.
help if you want. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
help.
Arwina will take the help. She needs all
I
the help she can get.
As I said,
I'm
help
proficient.
requires a proficiency, so if you have proficiency, you can help.
Oh, well then I will distract.
I have proficiency and I'll help.
Okay.
Rita.
And Arwina will look for a bit of sky or where stars should be,
Okay.
even if it's covered, and we'll look for their guidance.
Awesome. What do we got?
For 20.
Woo!
Oh, almost.
Uh,
I'm about done with
two
y'all's. I'm
19s.
about done
Oh
with
no,
y'all's
17.
y'all's rolls
17.
tonight. I can't
Mm.
do
That'll
anything
be
against anybody
20,
tonight.
Yo,
24. The stars shine brightly.
Yes, the stars shine bright in the sky
Hmm.
as you can see those symbolizations that you know from the tracks of your mother, specifically that direct you exactly northeast where the direction you're going. And
Hmm.
you push on through what seems to be just a very thick, dense snow for about 4 hours until you start to see the the stars start to just everything gets dark as it looks like a
Hmm.
shadow flies over top of you.
Uh, guys, let's duck. And Arwina will look for cover.
Okay.
We don't know what's coming.
As you find just
uh,
a are you trying to find specifically like a mound of snow, or are we talking like you're trying to find like actual super high cover?
Um, even since we're probably still pretty high up in the Alpine region,
Mm-hmm.
uh, any snow cover just to be less of a target.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to find hills of snow and mounds that you can kind of duck behind as you watch. And as you do, you just hear this just humming sound as this massive airship flies over top of you, coming from the
Oh,
southwest, heading north.
what?
Is Jim Jack familiar with airships? Being from
You've seen them. Usually they go straightly. They're usually heavily in large capital cities only. So you have seen it fly over. Um, uh, Shoot, I know your town. My brain's not working.
Pop Spring.
Pop Spring. You've seen it fly over there before. Um, Normally they stop in places like Neverwinter and
I was
some
gonna
of the
say
larger.
I've probably seen and been
Right.
on them.
Right. You've been on them. Um, they take you to the capitals, pretty much the
Yeah.
largest cities in the within the region.
I
Arwina
didn't
has
expect
no
to
idea
see.
what the heck that boat is doing in the sky.
I don't expect to see an airship this far north.
They can fly?
Oh yeah, they're
oh
very
yeah.
common. Well, I shouldn't say it. You see them bound south, but they usually travel between cities. Castle, you've seen them, right?
Oh yeah, they're just a ship in the sky. They're used for caravan transports, army dispatch, relief. But they're not, I mean, unless it's a military airship, they're not super equipped for this far out travel. they're usually going from one capital or major city or area to another. It's odd.
Does it look like it's coming from Bryn Shander?
No,
Uh,
it's actually going away from Ridgehander, heading the
Oh,
other direction from the capital of Icewind Dale.
My grandmother tells me stories of ships that could fly through the astral sea, but this is ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
they
This
are
is
actually very ridiculous.
um question. Would I also I'm Benji is from Waterdeep. Would she also
Mm-hmm.
know about mm,
You would have seen him in Waterdeep.
They don't have these in Caer Konig. Okay.
You've never even seen these in Bryn Shander. There's only one place in Icewind Dale that you would see these, but we haven't discovered that yet.
Well,
I'd assume Bryn Shander was the largest city in Icewind Dale.
It is, but it's not where
Okay.
these come. That's not the reason this is here. As you continue to watch this thing fly over, another large thing shows up in the air. Something that you have heard of before, known as the Ice Mother. The ones that were in the demi plane have definitely heard of this.
oh,
As you hear the wing beat of a large creature, and the sound pierces the air around. And for those on stream, and for our people in the show, this is what you start to hear.
hmm.
As a gigantic or a ginormous ancient white dragon rips through the sky towards this thing and tears into it. As it does, you watch as one of the masts snap and this thing falls to the ground. Also, you're seeing other pieces of cargo and other things like that dropping from the sky. This is where we bring our friend in,
Yay!
as
yay.
our new player is going to show up. Let's wake up Kalavar. See if he can pop on stream and get him moving. Let's activate your video. There he comes.
Oh,
As you see, and I'll let you kind of describe this, Kalavar. What does it look like from about 100 feet as you're falling through the air, falling off of this airship?
I would say it's a combination between a Wilhelm scream and a Goofy falling to his death scream.
Okay. As you see just this silhouette floof, into the snow about 120 feet from you.
hmm. Well, it's not a dragon, so Erwina will go hurriedly to kind of investigate,
Yeah, I'm
pulling out
running
the
with
ice shield.
Heroina.
I'm heading there too. Might be someone. Well, how far did they fall?
Quite a
He
ways.
might be a he might be a pancake, but we've got some pretty deep snow here.
Um,
Well, I
We'll find
suppose.
out.
as you close
We might just
in,
find a corpse, but
um,
we might be able to help them.
Kalavar uses some of the cargo to soften his blow, wrapping around in blankets and things like that, almost kind of coming in at the coast. And as he does, he hits the slope of one of the mounds, and the next thing you see is two legs sticking straight up out of the air, face first into a snowbound, as Kalavar is dipped into that mound. And that's what you see coming over the hill. These two legs kind of doing this thing in the snow.
I'll start trying to dig him out of the snow.
As you pull him out, what do they see?
So you pull a like 3.5 foot tall gnome in like a very like very plain beige like shiv very kind of like dirty, grimy, not very well kempt. Hair is just crazy all over the place. Glasses askew. You can just kind of see him like death gripping a satchel that's more like a rucksack. Just really just like
It's I you're on ground. You're on ground now.
kind of clocks all of you around. He's like, I'm not going back, and I'm gonna cast color spray at first level.
Okay. And for the people on the
Yeah.
audience, what does color spray do for our players
Yeah,
and
and
our
then we
audience?
need to roll.
Is that does that get all of us?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a con save of 12,
Yep.
and I am trying to get this.
Oh, I see it. You got it.
Okay.
It goes into the
Ah,
the
okay.
chat. Yeah. So Castle and
And
Arowena
Arowena.
are covered in whatever you want to have them covered in. Benji dives out of the way, and Jin Jack is not close enough.
Oh, color spray is a bright light that blinds y'all,
Okay. So this is
and
bright
he's gonna make
light.
a run for it, trying to like pull like boots on and make a run for it.
I'm Benji being closer than Jack, she will watch him try to run. And she's gonna give him a head start.
Oh yeah, it's full on comical. Like he manages to get like one boot on, starts to look through the rucksack, starts to look around. He can't find the other boot, starts
I'm
panicking.
blindly trying to grab this person.
Okay.
Er, no. Erwina is just gonna not do what she was thinking. Oh,
No, please do. Please.
actually no, because she is a little emotionally heightened these last couple days. She is gonna let loose a word of radiance as she gets blinded.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
Gonna go
have Castle roll me a athletics check with disadvantage
Okay.
as you're trying to grab a hold of something blinded.
That's a 3.
Yeah, you're completely disoriented, reaching at air at this point. And then, Arowena, if you want to cast your Word of Radiance.
Yeah. It's just in front of her.
Okay.
It's that instinctual sorceress magic that she's never really got a hold of.
Would you?
Um,
And I'm gonna have you, Kelevar, roll me a d4. On a 1, you'll be in front of her. If you're, yep, there it goes. So a 3. So
It's
yeah,
okay.
you're out of the way. But you do see this bright light just appear in front of Arowena.
I'll just call out. You should really calm yourself, little fella. We just wanted to help you. I understand you're in a bit of a tizzy on account of your ship being destroyed by that thing. But I can assure you that, well, I wouldn't call us harmless, but we don't mean you any harm. As long as you stop casting spells that blind members of my group. I look at Benji and I say, "Oh, I have to say, Benji, you're showing a remarkable level of restraint. Is it because it's a wee little fella? I mean,
But I do love little guys, but no, I want him to run so I can chase him.
oh, I see. You better. I mean, really, you should stop running because it's going to go very, very bad."
Benji just kind of gets into a track star pose.
Oh dear.
And she locks in, and I think she howls like a wolf, and she will run off after the little gnome guy.
Okay. As you do, you see Kelevar still trying to put on the second boot. I need you to roll me a perception check, Kelevar, as you are looking for something in the snow that you have misplaced.
That'll be a 19.
As you immediately glance down, you see the ring that your mother gave you.
And then, hearing the howling behind me and partially thinking of the bright light in front of her, I was like, wait, did I do that? Wait, howling. Oh, crap. Keep just.
Benji, roll me your athletics check as you are about to spear tackle this gnome.
Get him.
20.
Erwina's cheering you on. Get him.
Give me an acrobatics check, Kelavar.
I do have advantage on athletics, so I got a 19.
Oh.
Oh, wait, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As there is this initial, like, I got you! And as you do, he just barely moves out of the way. Like, you are within grasping. But for the fact that Benji was bested on this, how do you feel right now, Benji?
Benji kind of looks like, you know how when your dog is confused for a second? She like, huh. Well, I guess there's a first time for everything. And she takes... I think because he did because he did cast a spell, I think Benji is going to take a javelin and throw it at him.
All right.
Benji don't talk. She just do actions.
So as you hear this through the air, this javelin is coming straight at you, Kelavar. Is there anything you would like to do before you roll for before she rolls for her attack? You have one reaction.
I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery. I'm just gonna shout out, my socks smell better than you, and I'm not even wearing socks! So that'll be a wisdom save of 12.
Oh god, what are my worst things?
This is gonna be the war between Benji and Kelavar for the next 10 minutes.
Who?
Yeah, so, yeah, he's not wearing any socks, and you feel offended, like, all get up to the point where...
I mean, I know it's been a couple days since I...
3 points of damage.
You're gonna pay for that.
And then roll for your javelin.
Yes. Okay. Can I reckless this? Do I wait? I'm sorry. Do I have disadvantage from Vicious Mockery?
Yeah,
Or do I do anything?
I believe so. Yes, you have this. Yeah, so if you're going to reckless, you will be at
Normal. Okay. That is the 12 to hit.
What is your AC?
13. My AC is 13.
So
I will admit, I was not expecting this to go so well in my favors this far, but let's find out.
As you
I look
watch
back to
this
Jinjack.
sinks right next to you, Kelavar, about 3 inches from your bot, like where you would have been skewered. You see this javelin just throw into the.
I call
snow.
out. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I say, "Whoa! Hold on there. There's no need for violence and to draw blood.
There's always
all
a
you
need
did
for
was blind
violence.
us. Come on, hold on. You there, little fella. Just relax. Everyone, just stop."
I'd say at this
You're
point, just
putting your
because
boot on,
color spray only lasts for like a round, so
Oh yeah,
everyone can probably see at this point.
Yeah.
But now I've adopted like a zigzag tactic of running.
Will you stop running?
You won't take me alive!
Where are you going to be
don't want
running?
to hurt you. Stop running, you little rabbit.
Where are you running to?
Anywhere but here!
Oh, he's blind with terror. He is.
And as
At this point,
as Erowina says that, where are you running to? You realize you're in the middle of snow. There is not a sight of land or any sort of civilization anywhere, and there's mountains around you. And that's where you just stop in your tracks, and that's where we'll pick up next week. or next time. Sorry, because we don't have a
My
show
next
next week.
action, I was gonna drop daylight on him next, but it's like, don't.
Don't
This
make
needs
me
to
do
stop.
it.
Mhm.
Well, that was the surprising way of bringing in Kelevar, as the last moments you would have heard in the distance the crash of that airship and the flighting beats of wing beats as the dragon flies back away. Um, that's what we're going to bring our party for the next episode, which is going to be on December 2nd. Just a reminder for all of our friends here that want to continue to listen to Dress to Quest in 2025, we're moving to Tabletop Misfits, so make sure you follow over there, and we'll be catching up. But it's not the end of the night. We're going to let our players tell us who they are, where you can find them, and what new projects they've got coming. And we're going to start tonight with our brand new guest.
Hello there. I am Humphrey Wendell Wickham, also known as Fortuna's Favor on TikTok. I am playing your lovable gnome bard, Kelevar Cobblestitch. You can find me on all socials under Humphrey Wendell Wickham, YouTube, Instagram, um, Twitch as well. So yeah, that's my shtick, and let's see how things go next time.
Awesome. Let's go with Idly.
Hi, I'm Idly. This past Sunday, you could have tuned into the Bad Ideas and watched our new show that just launched yesterday. It was a wedding that, of course, went exactly to plan. It's just who was the actual planner for the wedding? If you have questions about that further and how a fox got a hold of some bacon wrapped shrimp, you can go check out the Bad Ideas, which I've been chatting a little bit in the thing with, and you can get that at the playback from Twitch. Or if you're more of a YouTube fan, it's already on YouTube because I'm lazy and uploaded it last night before I forget. Um, it's a very exciting project. And it's a little bit more adult humor than what we're typically known for. So you should definitely at least see what unhinged things we all say in that show. You can also find me at Wild Hearts on TikTok, Instagram, and now Lemonade. It's the new thing. I hate it. Anyway, don't recommend yet.
I'm creating a blue
Uh,
sky this weekend, so I'm not looking forward to another social media
yeah,
track.
yeah, no thanks. But it's another place where you can find me, I guess. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's it.
I'm gonna drop this over to Castle, our wonderful paladin who's back. We're glad that she's back.
Hi guys, I am Torrance. You can find me over on TikTok at the Tiny T14 or here on Twitch. My D&D party will be returning to continue our Feywild campaign in 2025 as the rest of our party settles down from some life changes, and we're very excited. We are playing in a Feywild world that we built playing The Quiet Year. If you haven't played The Quiet Year, I highly recommend it. And it's an absolute mess. They are an absolute mess. I love them. I have two rogues, three bards, and a fighter, and it's about to get insane, and I can't wait. So go check out our YouTube at Off Branded and get ready to see us come back in January.
Awesome. And I know Space is gonna tell me she has nothing, unless I'm surprised. Nope. There we go.
Nope, I have nothing.
It's our wonderful supporter of Dress to Quest only, which is great.
Yes.
We need it. And then of course Jinjak, our amazing artist. Anything you've got for us for tonight?
Yes. One sec. I have to turn off the snow.
Absolutely.
And what we have here? I have the today's sketches of Arwina and Raven,
Ooh.
and
Mm-hmm.
starting out, and then there is This is a sketch of Benji holding the rock and the Goliath blind lady, whose name I wrote down there.
Nice.
That's so cute.
I love that.
I love her
And,
design.
and here's Nara holding a rock.
Oh, so cute.
Oh.
My little friend.
And this is a really fast sketch of what just happened. Benji.
Oh, God. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yo, Chris, I love you so much.
I'm so glad that we're not losing a single player from Dress to Quest as we move over to Tabletop Misfits, because it would not be the same without any of you. And I'm so excited to bring on new guests, because this story just keeps getting deeper. I'll tell you what. And they keep giving me more fuel. It's crazy. It's like I'm trying to figure out a new way to defeat this party sometimes. It's great. Anyway, yeah. If you can find us over here over here on Monday nights for the next 3 episodes, and then otherwise come on over to Tabletop Misfits. Also, once a month I'll be over there at Bad Ideas. If you like hearing me talk a lot, you can come see me on Wednesday night as well, where I talk to guests every single week. And then we have a new show on Thursday nights with a friend of mine known as Beaker, where we are building Gunpla at the moment, and then we're also moving into Lego building and terrain building. It'll be the next step. So keep an eye out on all the socials. Hopefully soon we'll have all this stuff up not only on YouTube at Tabletop Misfits, but also on podcast. So you can catch up to all the other episodes and more as we continue this crazy story in Icewind Dale. So stay warm, and we'll see you guys all next time on Dressed Quest. Good night.